Alright, so what you see on the beautiful people is your boy Digital Ziggy, and today is episode number 1 of Digital Academy. Let's go. We started from scratch, so of course one of the first things you need when creating your own content is, well, a camera, right? There are many different types of cameras that you could go through, and this list could be really long, but I'm going to help you make a decision on which type of camera to choose. Of course, you know we're doing this mainly for beginners, and I literally just decided that I'm going to split this video up into 2 parts because, as you know, there's a pretty broad spectrum and we have different price points and different budgets. So I decided to split this into 2 parts. 1,000 US and under category, which is going to be this video right now, and then part 2 will be 1,000 US and above category. Okay, so camera number 1 is the Sony a6100. I don't personally own it, but it's the perfect camera for a beginner, right? And I'll tell you why. Starting off the bat, this camera has more features than my first camera, my second camera, even some of the cameras I have in my lineup right now. This has more features than that. It's an APS-C mirrorless camera, 24 megapixel sensor. We will go into details, all the nerdy talk about sensors and things at a later point. Records 4K. It also does full HD in 120 frames per second, which is great for anybody who's interested in doing any slow-mo videos or anything like that. Perfect for that. It has everything that you need photo or video wise, and for a starting photographer I would recommend any camera with autofocus to you, because I mean it definitely makes life easier. But I would say the best way to start off learning is without it, because it kind of feels like cheating sometimes, you know. The A6100 is also very compact and lightweight. It being a mirrorless camera and such a small form factor means that it's easy to carry around. You could throw it in your handbag, you could throw it in your side bag. Okay, so the A61 with a kit lens comes up to roughly 700 US, right? And what that means is that with that setup, you could actually start creating content one time. You don't need to buy anything else. But I would advise getting a couple of more add-ons, which we'll just total up now, right? I'll at least add on 1 extra battery if it is you plan on using it to do like more professional jobs. I would probably recommend adding on 3 extra batteries to the mix, but luckily these batteries aren't as expensive as bigger batteries, so that's good. For the most part, you could buy this camera, start to shoot, start to learn one time, and get those extra batteries when it is you start to get more comfortable with your skill sets and so on. If it is you want to bump up your quality a little bit, you want to add a little bit of a blurry background, some depth of field, that kind of stuff, because if you don't know what bokeh is, I'll put a definition of it right here, and we'll go more into that in a video when I'm actually able to go outside and show you all. Every single photographer I've given this advice to, they've taken it and they still use it to this day. Buy a Nifty 50. Sony Nifty 50 is 250 US. Nifty 50 got its name from being a very nifty 50mm lens, right, with a 1.8 aperture. All you'll need to know for now is with the 1.8 f-stop, you'll get nice creamy backgrounds. Okay, so the total, if it is you're purchasing an A6100 setup and you just want to get into photography and videography one time, this is going to be a total here. Alright, so next thing, this is a camera that's near and dear to my heart because I've created so much content with this camera before, and that's the Canon 80D. It's a DSLR crop sensor camera and it's a beast. The Canon 80D, 24 megapixel sensor. I mean, most of these cameras, I'll just give you a disclaimer, they're gonna have a 24 megapixel sensor, and that's fine. This camera right now is 900 US and it's on sale right now for 900 US with a free kit lens. Battery wise, this battery uses the bigger Canon batteries, so it actually lasts longer than the A61 battery by far, by double, so you will be comfortable with one battery with this. But once again, I would always advise somebody, just have one extra. You can't go around having one spare battery. If you want to go for your nifty 50, I mean, it's gonna send you over budget a little bit. You know, you'll be over budget by $50. So up to you. Canon 80D, no issues, no problems, and the touchscreen is probably the reason why I keep it for shooting so much videos, because it's easy. Okay, so number 3 on your list is the most budget friendly option that we have here today, and it's the Canon EOS Rebel SL3. So we're just calling it the SL3. That's too much words, right? So the Canon SL3 coming in at 500 US. You can spend an extra 100 US and get a kit lens. I'll warn you from now, the kit lenses aren't the greatest of lenses, but I promise you, I'll show you right here. One of my favorite landscape pictures to this day was taken with a kit lens. I guess I could do a video showing you all the content you could create with a kit lens. That's a good idea, you know. Anyways, kit lenses is a love-hate relationship. They get the job done. It's not the best, but that's why I recommend it. All of y'all get a nifty 50, and in the game, Canon makes my favorite touchscreen in any kind of device ever. So yeah, you have the very tilty out touchscreen, which I love. Right, so this shoots 4K in 24 frames per second, which is good. Most likely I will stick to, if I had this camera, I would stick to 1080p at 60 frames per second to get some slow-mo. For those who are interested in possibly shooting some audio related stuff with it later on in down their career, it does have a port for an external microphone, so that's always a good plus, and that's why I would suggest it to you. None of the cameras I'm going to suggest will have no microphone input. I forgot to mention that every single camera that I'm putting on this list has built-in Wi-Fi to it, which for me is a big deal. The reality of it is that a lot of people don't use their built-in Wi-Fi, but I do. With Canon and Sony, I have both Canon and Sony cameras, and the apps are fine. They're great for transferring pictures from your camera straight to your phone and have it on your phone to post on Instagram one time. It's also good to use like as an external monitor. So when you'll see me looking down at my phone, it's not to check my messages and it's not to read a script, it's just to check to see if I'm looking cute, you know. Okay, so my next camera on the list is the Rebel T8i. Disclaimer: at the time of recording this camera is not available to the public as yet, but it's supposed to be released soon, hopefully any minute now. And the T8i, obviously I don't have it, but as I said, I started off with a T4i, and I was able to create some great content with that. It actually creates vertical videos, so if it is you want to record vertical videos for your stories, so this will come in handy for any influencers, vloggers, bloggers, anybody who has their own small business or small brand that they're trying to just build. You have that autofocus system in video that I love with Canon. Guess how much megapixels the sensor is? I'm not even gonna tell you. You'll just guess, right? It's a crop sensor. Just saying, all these options here have been crop sensors. You'll see full frame sensors, which is going to be a bigger sensor size. You'll see that in part 2 of the list. Yeah, so basically full HD, which is 1080p. Yeah, 4K 24 frames per second, which is good. All the great things is it has stabilization, and as I realized I did not talk about this in the other cameras, so I will have to put a little note here so you'll see which cameras have in-body stabilization in it. Up next is the perfect camera for any vlogger, blogger, or small content creator, right? So let's get into it. The next one is the Sony ZV-1. Okay, so the Sony ZV-1 is basically a point and shoot camera. So what that means is you can just pick it up and start to shoot one time. But why I said it's the perfect camera for like a vlogger, a blogger, etc., is it has cool little features that, you know, stand out against all the other cameras on the list. So it has something called a tally lamp, right? And usually you see it on like recording cameras, where you see like a little red light to know that you're recording. I mean, for most people, they'll be like, oh, well, that's kind of pointless. But for me, anybody who's ever tried to shoot themselves with a camera would know that, you know, the little red light is always good to know that you're recording, because you wouldn't do like me and talk to a camera for half an hour and then realize I didn't hit record. So the camera comes with a 24 to 70 millimeter zoom lens with a 1.8 to 2.8 aperture. And basically what that means is you can take pictures with blurry backgrounds or take videos with blurry backgrounds. It even has a button that you can press to optimize your backgrounds for maximum blurriness. What I love about this camera, the most groundbreaking thing that Sony has done for the year is made a camera with a flippy out screen. I know we just talked about it, but this camera just released today, and it comes with a flippy out touch screen, so you could flip it out. You could see yourself, what makes it the perfect camera for a vlogger or anybody who's trying to videotape and see themselves. Amongst the many features that this new camera has, it also has eye autofocus in both photo and video, which, as I explained before, means that once it picks up an eye anywhere in the frame, it gets the focus on it one time. This camera also shoots in 4K, and it also shoots super slow-mo in 120 frames per second. For the beauty influencers out there, this camera has a built-in soft skin effect, which basically smooths out all these wrinkles and blemishes for a natural smooth skin effect. Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed the list. I try my very best to include cameras that works across the board for different kind of content creators, from photographers to videographers to fashion bloggers to influencers. If it is I had to choose one camera for each niche, this is what my choices will be and why. So for videographers, my first choice would be the A6100, just because you get that extra slow-mo with 120 frames per second and that 4K. For if it is you're interested in fashion, blogs, vlogs, influencers, that kind of stuff, you're not really trying to get jobs as a photographer, you're not trying to get jobs as a videographer, I'll have to recommend the Sony ZV-1 because it's going to make your life a lot easier. For the photographers, I'll recommend the Canon 8AD, and I just have a sweet spot for it. Like, it was so easy to learn the functionalities and switch your settings, and even for those who are interested in taking pictures with the touchscreen, it's going to be a beauty. And it's probably my second choice for the video camera because that touchscreen focusing, beautiful. There it goes. I hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for tuning in and listening to me ramble and talk for so long. I try my best to work on it, you know. All right, bye.